Hello, Jubes here. The purpose of my channel is to provide my honest thoughts on my personal weight loss journey and specify and narrow down on tactics that work for me. My plan is to also start making some content regarding self-care because the weight loss journey can be a long and tumultuous one. So if that is of any interest to you, make sure you hit the subscribe button. In this video, I will be doing a comparison of two popular and trendy at-home fitness machines. So Peloton, which I'm sure everyone has heard of, which focuses on cycling and cardio, and Tempo, which is a newer product that focuses on strength training and AI corrections to your form. I've learned that with all of the content that's available on the internet, it's really easy to get stuck in a paralysis by analysis situation. I personally remember making a lot of excuses for not starting my journey just because I wanted to make sure that the process that I actually ended up doing would be the ideal situation so that I didn't make mistakes along the way. Looking back, I think that was the wrong way to approach weight loss and just anything in your life. There's never going to be a perfect way to start, so you just want to make sure that you start, and that is the best strategy. To have an accurate comparison of the workouts, I did both the Tempo and Peloton workouts back to back because I wanted to make sure that I would be able to get through the workouts without the muscle fatigue setting in. First, I'll talk about the Tempo, which is an at-home fitness and strength training and weightlifting program. The machine comes with everything that you'll need, and it also uses AI to provide form corrections. It costs $19.95 for the machine and $39 per month for household access to the live classes, which I believe is required. If you haven't seen my previous video about my initial thoughts and review of Tempo, I'll make sure to link the video up above and in the description so you can check it out. While I was recording this video, Tempo actually came out with another software update. So some of the notable things that were featured in that software update are: 1, Bluetooth, which is great if you cohabitate and you don't want to bother the other person in your household when you're doing your workouts, and 2, a feature to add friends on the machine so that you can track their workouts alongside yours. Those were the two most notable features for me, but I'll make sure to throw up the other features here in case you're interested. In terms of the workouts and the programs are very intensive and informative. I've been doing a 6-week program for the past 4 weeks now, and I feel all of the progress and the newly built strength immediately. Overall, I have no regrets with this purchase and would definitely recommend it to others, but I want to make sure that I go through 3 benefits and 3 shortcomings of the product just so you can make an informed decision. So starting with the benefits. 1, you can actually feel yourself building up strength with this machine. I'm not saying that you just feel sore and tired after the workouts, but what I'm saying is if on day 1 you are only able to do 5 push-ups in a row, after a few days of doing this workout, you will be able to do more and push yourself further, and you will notice that you have improvements in your form as well. 2, the instructors and employees at Tempo are very engaged and very focused on building up a community. After the first video, I was introduced to a Facebook group that was led by the Tempo marketing team. It includes a lot of highly engaged customers as well as employees and trainers on their side. So if you ever have any questions about the program, the machine, or the classes, you can add those questions to that group. They will definitely provide responses for you. 3, since Tempo is a startup, it's very focused on engaging their current customers and incorporating a lot of their feedback into the product. I imagine that they'll continue to be this way just as they're scaling up. Even with the second round of software updates, a lot of the updates that actually made to the product were things that I noticed were being said in the Facebook group. So I would definitely say if you have any feedback, make sure to include it after you complete the workouts where it asks for feedback, but also feel free to reach out to their team because they seem to be very responsive. Tempo adheres to the same business model as Tesla, where the product is physical, but the real value comes from the software behind it. This allows them to introduce software updates even after the product has left their warehouses and is in your home. So in addition to the positives of this machine, I have noticed 3 kind of shortcomings. The product is new, so the wait time is long. I've had a few people reach out to me and ask me about the anticipated wait time to receive their Tempo, and I've heard that right now I think it's about like 8 weeks to get the Tempo after you order. I completely understand the shortcomings of the logistics process and going through a third-party delivery partner. No matter how interested someone is in the product, at the end of the day, people are very convenience-driven. Even if they are interested in the product, they may opt for a different product that has a shorter turnaround. And if a consumer opts to go for a different product just because of the short turnaround, it's probably not likely that they'll be purchasing more than one at-home fitness machine. I know I personally have, but that's also due to other reasons. Actually, that was due to the same reason. And some people may not have the financial ability to make 2 very large financial purchases within a short time, even if it's for their health. 2, the AI form corrections are still a little bit buggy. This isn't accurate for all of the programs, but I have noticed with the program that I'm currently going through, there are some movements that probably don't need as much AI form correction. It was probably deprioritized in the list of enhancements. Not only do those movements not have AI form corrections, but it also doesn't count your reps. I completely understand the business side of things and the focus on making more MVP or minimal viable product versions of the content before focusing on software enhancements to each program. But I do think it's a little bit of a demotivator when you're going through a program and you keep running into certain technical issues. Sometimes you might be doing a specific exercise and it may give you the AI training in progress error, but you may notice that other people, their rep counts continue to go up while the majority of people's rep counts stay stagnant. So that's definitely something I wanted to note. 3, not an issue that I've encountered at all personally, but something that I think I should note is that if you are a relatively strong individual, you may find that the weights provided by Tempo can be a little limiting. Again, not a problem for a newbie like me. I'm more focused on making sure that I don't break my long nails while I do these exercises rather than deadlifting 200 pounds, but I know that it may be a problem for those who are relatively stronger. I just want to make sure I count it out for, you know, the gym bros who are currently thinking about getting this and want to make sure that their gains aren't impacted. Moving on to Peloton. So I'm sure all of you guys have heard of Peloton. They're an industry leader. They're probably the first, I believe they're the first company that kind of really emphasized this at-home fitness solution model. They started out with cycling bikes and now have expanded to other products such as their Peloton treadmill. I personally have the Peloton Bike because my condo is not big enough for the treadmill, and I really enjoy having it as part of my at-home fitness routine. Funnily enough, I actually ended up getting the Peloton after I had pre-ordered my Tempo just because the at-home and quarantine orders started and I wanted to make sure that I had some sort of exercise machine at home so that I would not go stir crazy being holed up all day. The bike costs $2,245 and they also have a monthly fee of $39 for household access to the live classes. I think that's a little bit different for Peloton than for Tempo is that the monthly fee also comes with a mobile app and online access to the classes. So you don't only have to do the classes on your bike, you can do them on your phone, on your computer, etc. In terms of the workouts, they're a lot more versatile in terms of the type of workout and the intensity level of the workout. You can filter classes based on the type of class, the instructor, the duration, whatever filter metrics you want to make. They have a very good way of organizing the information that's available on their catalog, so it's never hard to find exactly what type of class you're looking for. There's also a crowdsourced rating for each of the classes, so after you're done with the ride, it'll ask you to provide feedback on how you felt about the overall ride, the instructor, the music, the metrics, etc. So if you're looking for classes, you will be able to find that information that other people have provided pertaining to that class. Overall, I'm really pleased with this machine as well. I think it's a great machine to have at home and I would definitely recommend it to others. If you're interested in purchasing a Peloton, feel free to use my promo code above. That'll give you $100 in accessories. So that'll allow you to cover some of the other items that you'll need, such as cycling shoes and the fitness mat. So going into the benefits, it's high cardio and high caloric burn for each workout. It's very comparable to your typical SoulCycle or in-studio cycling class. This means that the instructors do a great job of pushing you to your limits, but not pushing you to the point that you overexert yourself. Since you do burn a lot of calories for each class, it is a great way to sweat profusely and to release endorphins. So I know that the Peloton is always my go-to if I've had maybe a rough day or I just need to mentally clear my head. It does a great job of making sure that you can kind of get outside of what you're feeling and do something productive. 2, Peloton has the metrics down. Each class is really well balanced in terms of the portion of the class that's spent warming up, cooling down, going for climbs, etc. They also will introduce other elements of the ride, such as arm workouts, depending on the type of ride you're doing or depending on the duration of the ride. So I've noticed that if you do a ride that's 45 minutes or longer, they usually incorporate an arm segment into the ride, but there are also some 30-minute rides that are focused on intervals and arms, so you can choose what you need. The metrics on the screen match the metrics that the instructor is calling out about 99.9% of the time. It's very accurate, which is really useful if you're trying to make sure that you're staying within that range. 3, Peloton is an industry titan and it's so easy to see how they can keep growing from here. They have diverse workouts, diverse products, and also the capital to be able to continue growing at this fast pace. If it weren't for the limited space in my condo, I definitely would have gotten a Peloton treadmill as well. Those Peloton treadmills remind me of the high quality workouts that companies such as Orange Theory and Barry's Bootcamp are able to provide in the comfort of your own home. Transitioning into the shortcomings of Peloton, there's only so much cycling classes that you can do that will benefit you and your body in the long run. While the mobile app provides access to other types of classes such as strength training, outdoor running, yoga, etc., I definitely don't utilize a lot of those other classes as I probably should, and I feel like I'm not alone in saying this. Usually when people have the Peloton Bike, they use that bike for the Peloton Bike classes. If you want to use it for other classes, you definitely can. In the beginning, I used to try the other workouts, but at that point, it's about the same as just turning on a YouTube video and doing a Chloe Ting workout at home. If you're a disciplined individual who can do at-home workout programs such as the Chloe Ting workouts without feeling unmotivated just because of the lack of accountability, then the mobile app is definitely something that you can take advantage of. But if you're like me and aren't that way, then it might be a little bit of a limitation because the Peloton Bike itself won't be enough to give you that full body workout. 2. While the Peloton does not limit you to only live classes, they have other options such as scenic rides and riding at your own pace. One thing that I know was a strategic decision by their team that is kind of inconvenient for a consumer is the fact that you cannot watch your own content on the screen that's provided with the bike. I understand that this decision is probably very intentional by their team to ensure that people are having high quality workouts when they're using their bike. I just find it a little bit inconvenient just because while I do enjoy doing these live classes and pushing myself with an instructor-led class, sometimes I just want to be basic and throw on some trashy TV and just bike at my own pace without thinking about the metrics. So I definitely think that it would have been a very helpful addition to the product if you had that ability to choose what you're going to watch on their screen. 3. The last gripe I have about Peloton is just the fact that I feel like I have to constantly readjust and retighten everything on the bike. This might not be a common issue as I tend to do a lot of the groove/choreography rides, which results in a lot of the loosening up of the bike, but it is something that I've noticed. And the main reason that it's an inconvenience is because you don't realize the bike or the shoes need to be tightened until you're in the middle of a ride and you start to move around and you feel the bike move. It definitely becomes a limiting factor a little too late in the process. It's also not like you have the ability to pause in the middle of a Peloton ride. So if I do start to feel like my bike is moving around a lot, I can't just press the pause button and get off and retighten it. If I did that, then my metrics would fall and I don't really want that to happen either. While I enjoy having both the Tempo and the Peloton in my home gym, I will say the main difference between the Tempo and the Peloton is that I use the Tempo to get stronger, I use the Peloton to feel better. I would recommend the Tempo for those who are looking to actually change their body, so actually build muscle, actually start to see some of that weight loss and that toning, because that is very evident early on with the Tempo. And I would recommend Peloton for those who do want to have that high intensity workout, but mostly want to use exercise as a form of therapy and mental clarity. That's my take on these two machines. I'm sure we're gonna see more consolidation and more synergy between the at-home fitness workout machines and the larger fitness brands in the world. It's going to be really interesting to see how this market kind of changes within the next 5 to 10 years, but I definitely know that these are two great investments that I feel comfortable making, and you should too. If you found this video to be insightful, please make sure to give me a like, subscribe, and comment anything else that you would like me to review in the comment section below. If there are any other at-home fitness workouts or machines that you would like me to review, such as the Mirror or the Chloe Ting workout, let me know and I can make sure to incorporate that into any videos I do in the future. Okay, that's it for me. Bye! Jubes out.